If I were buying an SUV to keep past 200,000 miles, I would not start with the newest screen, the nicest leather, or whatever the ad says about adventure. I would start with the models that have already proven they can take years of commuting road trips, bad maintenance habits, family abuse, and still feel worth fixing instead of replacing.
Toyota Sequoia. The Sequoia is the kind of SUV that makes 200,000 miles feel less like a miracle and more like the point of buying one in the first place. I've always looked at it as Toyota's big, heavy, overbuilt answer to families who tow-haul kids' load gear and still expect the thing to feel useful 10 years later. It is not pretending to be a delicate luxury crossover. It has truck bones, serious weight, a strong frame, and the kind of long-haul reputation that comes from being used hard by people who do not baby their vehicles. The older Sequoias earned that reputation with simple, durable V8 powertrains and a layout that could take abuse without acting fragile. The current Sequoia is more complex because it uses Toyota's iForce Max hybrid system, a twin-turbo V6 hybrid, making 437 horsepower and 583 pound-feet of torque paired with a 10-speed automatic. That sounds like a lot, and it is, but the important part is how it works in a big SUV. The electric motor helps with low-end torque, so the engine does not always feel like it is being wrung out just to move the weight. For towing merging climbing grades, or hauling a loaded cabin that matters. Stress kills vehicles slowly, and the Sequoia is built to do heavy work without feeling constantly strained. The data backs up the reputation too. The Sequoia has been ranked with a 39.1% chance of reaching 250,000 miles, which is absurdly strong compared with the average vehicle. But I still would not call it a free pass. These are expensive SUVs, tires are not cheap brakes, fluids matter, and neglected examples can become very ugly, very fast. The reason I trust the Sequoia past 200,000 miles is not because it is cheap to own. It is because the core vehicle has the size, hardware, torque, and Toyota durability history to make long mileage feel realistic, not hopeful. If this list needs one SUV that sets the standard early, this is the one that earns that spot. Toyota 4Runner. After the Sequoia, the 4Runner feels like the smaller, rougher, more stubborn Toyota that refuses to apologize for being old school. And honestly, that is exactly why it belongs here. I have a soft spot for SUVs that do not try to impress you with fake luxury or some overcomplicated personality. The 4Runner has always felt more honest than that. It rides like a truck. It burns more fuel than a modern crossover, and the older 5th-gen models were never quick. But the whole thing gives you the feeling that Toyota cared more about making it survive than making it feel trendy for the first owner. The reason these things can push past 200,000 miles is not magic. It is mechanical conservatism. The 5th-gen 4Runner used a 4-liter V6 with 270 horsepower and 278 pound-feet of torque paired with a 5-speed automatic. That sounds ancient now, but ancient can be a compliment when you are talking about long-term ownership. The engine was not highly stressed. The transmission was not chasing 10 gears every 5 seconds. And the body-on-frame layout gave it real truck structure underneath. I have seen older 4Runners with faded, paint-worn seat bolsters and suspension that clearly lived a hard life, yet the doors still shut with that heavy Toyota thud, and the drivetrain still felt calm. That kind of aging tells you something. The trade-off is that the 4Runner asks you to accept its personality. It is not the smoothest SUV, it is not efficient, and if you buy one expecting a quiet family crossover, you bought the wrong thing. But if you maintain it, change the fluids, keep rust under control, and do not ignore worn suspension parts, the core hardware has a real chance of going far. The latest generation adds more power and complexity, including a turbo 4-cylinder and available hybrid system, so the older V6 models still carry the cleanest long-mileage argument for me. The 4Runner ranked with a 32.9% chance of reaching 250,000 miles. And that number makes sense because this SUV was never built around disposable car thinking. It was built around endurance, and the proof is how many of them still look overpriced even with mileage that would scare buyers away from almost anything else. Toyota Highlander Hybrid. Leaving the 4Runner's truck frame stubbornness behind, the Highlander Hybrid proves a different kind of SUV can last too, one that survives because it does not beat itself up every time you drive it. This is the family SUV on the list that does not need to look rugged to make a strong 200,000-mile case. I've always respected the Highlander Hybrid because it feels like Toyota built it for people who rack up boring miles, school runs, work commutes, highway trips, grocery runs, airport pickups, and all the normal stuff that quietly destroys lesser SUVs over time. The durability argument starts with the hybrid system. The Highlander Hybrid uses a 2.5-liter four-cylinder engine with electric motors for a combined 243 horsepower, and it runs through an electronically controlled CVT-style hybrid transaxle instead of a traditional gear-hunting automatic. That matters because the system spreads the workload. The electric motors help at low speeds. The gas engine does not have to do every launch by itself, and the braking system benefits from regenerative braking, which can reduce wear on normal brake components when driven properly. It is not a towing brute like the Sequoia, but with a 3,500-pound towing rating and fuel economy around the mid-30s combined, it is built for efficient long-term family use, not showing off at stoplights. The Highlander Hybrid also benefits from Toyota doing hybrid systems for a long time. That experience matters. The battery motors, control software, and cooling strategy are not some experimental science project thrown into a family SUV because everyone suddenly decided to electrify everything. This setup feels mature, and that is exactly the kind of boring I like when talking about 200,000 miles. You still have to maintain it properly, and I would be careful with neglected used examples, especially ones with unknown service history or hard towing behind them. But if the fluids are handled, the cooling system is kept healthy, and the hybrid battery is not abused by years of heat and neglect, this SUV has the right ingredients to keep going. The numbers back up the feel. The Highlander Hybrid has been listed with about a 31% chance of reaching 250,000 miles, which is wild for a three-row family SUV that spends its life full of kids' bags, food wrappers, and people slamming doors like they are trying to close a bank vault. For me, that is why it belongs this high. It does not win by being the toughest-looking SUV here. It wins because it turns daily mileage into low-stress repetition, and low-stress repetition is exactly how vehicles quietly live long enough to make 200,000 miles look normal. Lexus GX. Coming out of the Highlander Hybrid, the Lexus GX feels like Toyota's durability philosophy, wearing heavier boots and nicer leather. This is the SUV I trust when someone wants luxury but still wants real truck hardware underneath, because the GX has never felt like a soft crossover pretending to be serious. It has that dense, heavy, old-money Lexus feel where everything closes with weight. The cabin feels isolated, and the vehicle gives off the sense that it was built for people who might actually keep it beyond the first owner. The toughness comes from the bones. The current GX 550 uses body-on-frame construction standard four-wheel drive, a 3.4-liter twin-turbo V6, making 349 horsepower and 479 pound-feet of torque, and a 10-speed automatic. Overtrail models add real off-road hardware like 33-inch all-terrain tires, an aluminum skid plate, adaptive suspension crawl control, and terrain modes. That matters because long life is not just about the engine starting every morning. It is about the chassis, driveline, cooling, suspension, and transmission being built for weight heat, bad roads, towing, and repeated stress without feeling like the whole SUV is being overworked. The older GX 460 still has the cleaner long mileage argument for me, because that 4.6-liter V8 was not chasing numbers. It made 301 horsepower and 329 pound-feet of torque, used a 6-speed automatic, and felt calm doing normal SUV work. I have ridden an older GXS with serious mileage, where the leather was worn and the steering had that slightly heavy truck feel, but the drivetrain still felt settled. That is the difference. Some SUVs feel old at 120,000 miles. A maintained GX often feels broken in. The GX is not cheap to own, and neglected suspension fluids, tires, and brakes will punish you. But the reason it belongs here is simple. It combines Lexus build quality with Toyota truck architecture. A GX ranked with an 18.3% chance of reaching 250,000 miles, and that feels believable because this thing was engineered with margin, not minimum effort. Lexus RX Hybrid. After the GX, the RX Hybrid feels like Lexus durability aimed at a different kind of owner, the person who does not need truck hardware but still wants something that can quietly age without turning into a repair nightmare. This is the Lexus SUV I think about when someone says they want comfort, fuel economy, and long ownership without dealing with the weight and thirst of a body-on-frame rig. It does not feel tough in the same obvious way as a GX, but there is a different kind of toughness here. Low stress, smooth operation, and a hybrid system that has years of Toyota experience behind it. The RX 35 OH uses a 2.5-liter inline-4 hybrid system with 246 combined horsepower standard all-wheel drive and an electronically controlled hybrid transaxle. That setup matters because the vehicle is not relying on a small turbo engine to pull all the weight by itself every time you leave a stoplight. The electric motors help with low-speed movement. The gas engine can work in a calmer range more often, and regenerative braking helps reduce wear on the conventional brake system when driven normally. Over 200,000 miles, that kind of reduced strain adds up. I have always liked the RX because it does not beg you to drive it hard. It encourages the exact kind of driving that helps a vehicle last: smooth throttle, relaxed cruising, quiet cabin, predictable steering, and no constant drama from the drivetrain. It also gets around 37 miles per gallon city, 34 highway, and 36 combined, which means it is not working like an overweight luxury SUV just to do normal errands. A neglected RX Hybrid can still get expensive, especially with suspension, tires, cooling, and hybrid battery health, so service history matters. But a properly maintained one has the right formula. Lexus build quality, Toyota hybrid know-how, moderate power, efficient operation, and owners who usually keep them clean. That is why the RX Hybrid feels believable past 200,000 miles, not because it is rugged, but because it avoids beating itself to death. Honda Pilot. Family SUVs usually reveal their real character when nobody is treating them gently anymore. The Honda Pilot belongs here because it was built for that kind of life. Kids climbing over the second-row highway trips with every seat filled, Costco runs, airport luggage, bad weather, and years of people using it like an appliance that just needs to start every morning. That sounds boring, but boring is exactly where 200,000-mile vehicles prove themselves. The Pilot's strongest argument is still its drivetrain. The current model uses a naturally aspirated 3.5-liter V6 with 285 horsepower and 262 pound-feet of torque paired with a 10-speed automatic. I like that setup because it does not feel like Honda tried to squeeze a small turbo engine into a job meant for something bigger. A V6 has an easier time moving a 3-row SUV without constantly feeling overworked, especially when the cabin is loaded. Add the available iVTM4 all-wheel drive system, and the Pilot feels more prepared for real use, not just clean pavement and perfect weather. Properly equipped. AWD models can tow up to 5,000 pounds, which tells me Honda gave the platform cooling brakes and driveline enough margin to handle weight. Older Pilots have always had that slightly plain but dependable feel to me. The interior may age, the plastics may get scratched, and the seats may look like a family lived in them because honestly, they probably did. But when the engine still pulls cleanly, the steering still feels normal, and the SUV does not act tired just because the odometer is ugly, that matters. Maintenance is still the line between a good used Pilot and somebody else's expensive problem. Timing belt, service, transmission fluid, rear differential fluid, cooling system care, and suspension wear all matter. But kept properly, the Pilot has the right formula for long mileage. A strong V6 useful, AWD, hardware practical size, and a reputation built on surviving normal family punishment without needing applause for it. Chevrolet Suburban. The last car on this list has to feel earned, and the Chevrolet Suburban does because nothing about it is pretending to be small, delicate, or easy on consumables. It is huge, heavy, expensive to fuel, and completely unnecessary for people who only need a soft little commuter. But for the kind of owner who fills every seat, tows on weekends, runs long highway miles, and uses an SUV like a real piece of equipment, the Suburban makes sense in a way smaller crossovers cannot fake. The durability argument is built into the hardware. Current Suburbans offer a 5.3-liter V8 with 355 horsepower and 383 pound-feet of torque, an available 6.2-liter V8 with 420 horsepower and 460 pound-feet, and a 3.0-liter Duramax diesel with 305 horsepower and 495 pound-feet. That diesel is the one I pay attention to because torque is what keeps a big SUV from feeling strained when it is loaded with people, luggage tools, or a trailer. You also get a 10-speed automatic rear-wheel drive or available four-wheel drive, up to about 144.5 cubic feet of cargo space, and towing capability in the 8,000-pound range when properly equipped. Those numbers matter, because the Suburban is built around margin. It has enough engine, enough wheelbase, enough cooling capacity, and enough platform underneath it to do heavy work repeatedly. I have always seen the Suburban less as a family crossover and more as a truck that happens to have a giant cabin attached. Old ones show up everywhere. Airport duty fleet use church parking lots, rural driveways towing boats, hauling families across states. They are not always pretty at high mileage, and neglected ones can punish you with suspension, transmission, electronics, tires, and fuel costs. But maintained properly, the core vehicle has the size, part support, drivetrain options, and workhorse layout to make 200,000 miles feel realistic. It closes this list because it is not the cleanest or cheapest long-mileage SUV here. It is the one that proves brute strength still counts.